Hello. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Excel SolutionPalooza. I'm Kayer.
And this is Juan.
And we love Excel. Our goal today is to get you guys inspired to try out, deploy, and build different Excel solutions. What we're going to do is provide you a set of different demos and consider these building blocks. We'll have these building blocks, and then we're going to ask two of our great partners to come on stage, Frontline Systems and Hanha, to demonstrate how they're taking these building blocks and plugging them together to build solutions that unlock business value for their users.
That's your laptop, no?
Oh, yeah. All right. OK. So, told you we love Excel. Who needs PowerPoint? We're going to talk about Office add-ins. Office add-ins enable you to make your solution a native part of Excel. And if you're a business decision maker, you may want to ask yourself, hey, do I have users that are using Excel not only traditionally as they've done on Windows desktop, but now are they accessing Excel through the browser, like in this instance, or through Mac, or through different devices? Likewise, you may have a different solution, and people may need to context switch from your application into Excel. A lot of times we see developers provide the infamous export to Excel button or the export to CSV button, and then people load that into the context of Excel. But the problem there is it's static. And so this is where, by you bringing your solution into Excel, you can actually make it way more compelling and things like that. All right, the next part is if you're an IT pro, who's ever had to deploy a COM add-in before into their organization? All right, a few of you guys. Who liked doing that? All right, nobody. That's what I thought. With Office add-ins, you can easily manage and deploy your add-ins and control them. So you as the admin are in control of the add-ins that people use in your organization. And then developers. So Office add-ins leverage web technologies that allow you to call out to any service. Powerful services, having your logic stored in Azure, or even calling out to Office 365 services through the Microsoft Graph. So there's a lot of goodness here. I did want to ask folks, who here identifies themselves as a business decision maker? I'm going to try to get a count. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Let's just fudge the numbers a little bit. But all right, who's an IT pro? 6. About 6. All right, so let's say I'll give it around 70. And how many developers do we have in the audience? All right, I'm going to go 100 of you. OK, so the first demo that we wanted to provide you was a data visualization. So here I've gone into the Insert tab in Excel Online, and I've clicked the Office add-ins button. And pretty quickly, we can see within this dialog a few different add-ins that I have. Here in this case, my IT admin has already deployed 2 add-ins. One is the People Graph, another is ScriptLab, which we'll talk about in a second. Now, the way the IT admin deployed this was through the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. And within the Admin Center, there's a services and add-ins. And here you can see all the different services your users have access to. Likewise, here you can see the admin has already chosen to deploy the People Graph into their organization. And you have control. So you can deploy to specific users or specific groups or everyone, or even yourself as an admin to test things out before you open it up to the world. Now, in this instance, I'm downloading or I'm inserting a content visualization add-in into my document. So I'm going to click Add. This will load. Come on. Come on, Wi-Fi. There we go. So here we have a visualization that shows us numbers within the app. So let's change this a little bit. And we want to know not only, we are all Excel lovers here. So I can select, yep. And then also I can go and customize this to my heart's content. So with the theme, yeah, I like the red theme. The shape, let's go with some hearts. And there you go. And one of the things about this, as I mentioned, is it's not static. So if we were to say, hey, a bunch of BDMs walked into a room, and the data would react through a data change event and update itself. So here we have an example of an add-in that showcases two building blocks. These building blocks are a web view, which shows dynamic HTML content, as well as it talks through our APIs to interact with the data inside the user's document. So I wanted to also talk about a few other building blocks that we have. One of them is, hey, as I mentioned, the IT admin had deployed two add-ins to me. One of these add-ins is called Script Lab. And so I didn't have to go and acquire this. I just opened up Excel. And here in my ribbon, there's a Script Lab tab. Now, likewise, we have frontline systems who also created their own ribbon tab. Or Hannah actually has just a simple button that they use to show their task pane. All right. So the next part is we have web views. So I showed a content add-in. Now let's see a task pane. So back into Script Lab, I can open up the code task pane. And this will open up, and I have preloaded some custom functions here, which are our next building block. So custom functions are in developer preview. I'll talk about those, and then I'll hand it off to Juan, who will talk about our Excel APIs. All right. So as this loads, all right. So here we have a set of custom functions here. There's a contains function. There's a translate function. Let's try them out. We are having some issues. So when we look at custom functions are really just a part of an add-in. They look and feel like native built-in functions. So it does really feel like some. And I've actually taken that quote from one of our partners who said, hey, you should make it really feel like some. When you look at functions, they're actually just formulas that travel with the document. The code itself does not travel with the document. The code is hosted on your web server. You're actually just having the function be a pointer to your logic. And when I think of functions, there's 3 or 4 main scenarios I think about. The first one is complementing the rich library of Excel functions with your own. If you want to have reusable logic, you can go and create your own. So it's Ignite, and it's a long week, and it's hard to track what day of the week it is. So I'm going to just try a custom function with another add-in that I've already pre-deployed, which is, hey, get me that day. And so this will actually make a call and return the day of the week, which thankfully it is Wednesday, so I know I'm in the right place. Hope you are too. Likewise, one of the new capabilities with custom functions is the built-in ability to stream in real-time data. So here we have a set of stock quotes. We're in Orlando, so I chose Disney. I hope that's the right stock ticker. And here we're going to say, hey, let's stream in some of their stock quote functionality. And this is going to go get that data, and I'm just going to go fill down. And I'm just using Excel. I'm just using familiar Excel operations that I know and love. And now I've gotten that data. This is hard to see, but there's going to be a working thing. So this tells me, hey, it's going out and continually polling to see if there is a change in the stock quote data. Today didn't seem that volatile, but if there is oh, there we go. Microsoft or Disney just lost a penny. Maybe we should all go and help their stock price go up. All right. The next scenario is around what I think is applies to a lot of us, where we have a particular service, and how do you make that available to users in Excel? And in this scenario, we're going to call a Azure function, which is calling Microsoft's translator services. So this is a scenario of bringing intelligence capabilities right into Excel. So I can just call a translate. And I want to translate hello world. And ESES is the locale for Spanish. So I'll do that. And here we go, hola mundo. And then you can say, if you want to know how to say we love Excel, you can do that. Or my favorite, ¿Dónde está el baño?
Oh, very good.
All right. For the last demo, you can also import data into Excel using custom functions with a new feature that was announced at Ignite, dynamic arrays. So I'm going to switch over to Excel Desktop to highlight that. Let me just sign in.
Sorry. Import HTML, right?
No worries. All right. So I'm going to open up Script Lab and load up the code. So here's an instance of that same add-in that was running on Excel Online, working on Excel Desktop. And within Script Lab, I can...
The alpha? You need the alpha Script Lab?
No, I need the beta.
Okay.
So we have different environments for Script Lab. I'll switch over to beta. So we are adding custom function support into Script Lab. That will be rolling out in the next couple of weeks. But for now, we're in beta mode. And the next thing I'm going to do is go to GitHub and get a gist. This is the same gist that I had, which had like the translate function as well as the import HTML function. So let me take a quick minute and just give you a brief look at the code. So here was the translate code. All we're doing is we're returning a promise and making a simple web request to this URL. And this could be any service. Here, all I did was follow the cognitive services quick start, wrap that into an Azure function, deployed it, and with a few lines of code, I can bring that richness into Excel. All right. So let me open up this. Go to import, and I'll import this snippet here. And I'm going to click the functions button to run that. All right, so now that these functions have registered, and I want to know, hey, for my next trip down to Florida, where should I visit based off of the weather? It's been really hot. I like Florida. Is there a place that's cooler? And so what I've done here is I've gone and fetched out weather information from this website. It was a table, brought that in real time into Excel. And before, a user would have to know, oh, this function is returning 5 results, so I'd have to select 5 cells, Control-Shift-Enter that. And guess what? Not many people knew about that. And so with dynamic arrays and custom functions working together, we've unlocked a new scenario to import data. All right. with that, I'm going to pass it on to Juan, who's going to talk about our awesome Excel APIs.
Thank you very much, Kayer. Yeah, this is awesome to see. I mean, your custom functions was what used to be UDFs. So the good news is that you can actually combine custom functions with your add-ins in order to, because we have the necessary APIs to be subscribing to, range change events as well as. So basically, you can create add-ins that integrates with custom functions and use both technologies to create, amazing solutions like the ones we're going to see later today. So this is number 5, right? I'm going to go back to the. I do love Excel, but I have a few slides for you, just 4, and then I will do a bunch of demos. Okay. So by now, everybody that has used add-ins, just a quick show hands. Who has created an Excel add-in here? Okay, many people in the room. Okay, so this is a technology that actually shipped back in Office 2013. And by now, it should be very clear, and I've seen it with customers and partners I'm working with, that the value that we give as a platform is enormous. The fact that you can actually create an add-in and run it in multiple platforms, it's just by itself an amazing capability that our customers actually love. The other thing that it's actually super interesting for our partners and customers is the way that we deploy add-ins. As Kayer was saying, the fact that just by doing an Xcopy deployment to our web apps, all our customers get the updates. So that's amazing if you think about what previous technologies do with Office. But we still saw some, resistance to actually, attract Excel developers to create add-ins. And one of the things that our team is pushing a lot inside our company is we need more APIs. Clearly, Excel developers today don't have the number of APIs they need. They didn't, actually, to create solutions. How can we create great add-ins if we don't have the APIs? So what I want to tell you today, I'm super happy to tell you that we took this feedback very seriously. And we focus on creating APIs for Excel. And as you can see this chart, sorry about the small fonts, but it is showing every release that we have shipped and how many APIs were in that release. And as you can see, the last 3, which is basically the last year, we've been working extremely focused. We literally added many hundreds of APIs for you. So now the API set, it's reaching a point where it's really about just enabling what you have. And in fact, the way that we are, it's also interesting how we choose to prioritize with APIs, which APIs we do first. We, of course, know based on telemetry that there are some APIs that have the most used. But we want to be very careful about it. What we have in mind is to actually enable in a set of categories. We think about end-to-end. We know the most common ways of the most common solutions that are built on Excel. We try to do a categorization of them. And we find really interesting information about what patterns of APIs are used in each of those categories. So we were able, just to mention a few of them, and I will keep this in context for all our conversation. We know what APIs you're using. For example, if you want to do reporting, if you want to do reporting, you have to do not only support charts and tables and pivot tables, but you also need to have all the necessary APIs to print. Still many people print reports. You want to see in my demos further. We need all those capabilities. We need a bunch of charts to enable data analysis add-ins. We need a bunch of APIs to make sure that we can insert fast data into Excel. We have the necessary events to create awesome visualizations and so on and so forth. So I wanted to keep in mind that this is the approach that we chose, and you will see that you will have APIs. I think we have, if your add-in is in these categories and others, I think you should be able to actually create a new add-in today. And with that, this is the last slide, guys, for the demos. This is what I want to share with you, is the history of, hopefully you can see, the problem that I have with this slide now is that we have so many APIs that I'm having a hard time finding space for all of the objects we have today. In Build, back in May, we actually released our 1.7 API, and we ship a lot of good stuff like protection for workbooks, styles, freeze panes. We ship a bunch of events as well, charts, and we did a bunch of investments. Today, at the Ignite conference, we are announcing the GA of the 1.8 APIs. So starting today, you can actually start using these APIs. We actually turned on the beta back in June. So today, 95% of Office 365 users actually can use these APIs. You can use them today. And this release includes data validation, which was supposed to be actually released in 1.7, but it wasn't stable enough, so we actually wait for it. Now it's rock solid. It's in 1.8. You can use it today. We also included pivot tables. We have originally shipped something on 1.3, that you were only able to refresh pivots, but now you can actually create them and do more interesting things. We also have more charts. We have more events for charts. We have Create Workbook, which is an API that many customers are asking for, creating new documents out of templates. We also have sheet headings, remove duplicates, charts, and so on and so forth. We also announcing today another 400 APIs that you can actually try today on our beta endpoints. And this one includes shapes, all the charts in Excel. So basically, we are declaring charts complete. All the charts, most of the charts you can use. We have autofilter for ranges, areas. For the first time in the API history, we are able to support discontinuous ranges. So you will find the functions to do that. We added special sales, page layout, copy paste, save and close, filter capabilities, and so on and so forth. So all of this is properly documented in our websites. The open specs are also up and running. And then basically, I will just proceed to show you a few demos on this. Let's go back to 7. Right. Are we in? There you go. I'm going to show you a bunch of demos. So the first one that I want to show you is around some of the perf investments we're doing. Actually, later today, when Daniel joins the stage, he's going to show you a solution that we are working that shows, let's say, okay, Open Script Lab. So the team is not only working on enabling more APIs, we're also concerned about the performance of those APIs. And I want to show you a little bit about that. So hold on a second, my snippets, I need to GitHub. Sorry about this. And let me sign up to get my scripts. There you go. So Ignite demo. And let's run this script. The demo that you're going to see later today, it's about, and it's basically a topic that we all know. It's about an airline wants to know how many number of tickets they need to oversell in order to be maximize profits. As we know, many flights are oversold, but how many should we oversell? And we were thinking about getting some data from an airline indicating the number of no-shows for each flight. Okay, so you will see more details about that on the demo. But I was telling these guys, hey, why don't we also use this to test the performance of the API? So I create a simulator of a ticket, that it's able to add many years of data into a workbook, right? And many people have complained about the performance of the JavaScript API, how it compares against VBA. So I'm just going to show you a quick look at that. So I'm just going to pull right now 3 years of data. This is actually 250,000 cells that I inserted in a workbook in just 1.2 seconds. And this is a little bit slow because I don't know why, but usually it's a little bit less than this. So 250,000. I think it's very reasonable at the time. Let's add more years here. If we add 5 years of data, it's going to be about 420,000 cells in 1.8 seconds. And let's go really extreme and say 30 years of data and see how that works. And insert the data. This is 2.5 million cells that we are inserting right now in Excel. And it's going to be probably less than 10 seconds. 9.9 seconds. Thank you. So the JavaScript APIs are still not as fast as VBA, but are very close, guys. So don't worry about that, okay? The next thing that I want to show you is the pivot API. So we have here, 30 years of data. So how can we summarize it into a pivot or something? So I have here are some demos that you can actually see how we can actually create a pivot. And in this case, we have in 1.8 all the APIs that you need to create pivots. And in fact, one thing that I want to share with you guys is, let me actually run the add-in again. I want to show you something really interesting. It happens to be that, erase all this data. We have a lot of press because we recently shipped a product that is ideas. Maybe you guys heard about it, right? We just talk about it, it's in the news. This is a very interesting project because it's actually an add-in, and this add-in actually works on top of the JavaScript APIs. So these guys were one of our main customers, and it happens to be that ideas can actually suggest, what types of charts I can use in a given data set. And if you use it here, you will see that I'm generating this data randomly, but I added some outliers in this data. And what I want to see is probably the ideas, if it's as awesome as they say, it's going to give me those outliers. And you can see here exactly what I was talking about. In this chart that they are suggesting me to insert, actually, there's an outlier, as you can see here. The flight from Seattle to Orlando in September, so just before the conference, was getting a lot of no-shows. So people from Microsoft coming here didn't show up to the airport, no? It's just data, but you can see that in the inside, this is very clear that these pattern outliers on top of the other ones. So if Ideas was able to build an add-in as powerful as it is today with our APIs, that for sure can solve your chart needs. OK. So far, so good. Let's go ahead and have a look at events. So we did a very significant investment in events in Excel, as you will see here. And I would like to show you one quick demo about events. Let me copy the gist here. So events, many developers are asking us to implement them. And we have some sort of support early in the early APIs. But hopefully he's not going to call me right now. There you go. So we really did have events, but really they were not that useful. For example, a change event, we weren't able to know exactly what cells were changed, and we didn't know what were the old values, new values, and many other information. No? So today, with the events API that we have, we actually are able to get a number of events. And as you can see here, I am in Excel Online, and I'm going to load the demo that is, and by the way, all these demos, you're going to be able to use them. We're going to publish them on GitHub. Okay, so as I run this example, I want to show you some of the event capabilities. This is very useful for visualizations. No? If you want to create a great visualization, you need to know when the data changes and when you select different workbooks and so on and so forth. So this is just basically a simple map, as you can see on the task pane. And there's an event tab here that I can turn on or off the events. And I can do many things. I can register to the collection events. So we added a bunch of events for collections. So when you add a new chart, when you add a new sheet, when you add new stuff to the workbook, those events are going to get triggered. We also register for events for worksheet events, and I will register for the Bing map events. I'm subscribing to a bunch of events on this demo. So let me go back to the map. And you will see that every time I select something on the table, it's going to get refreshed. And one thing that is really interesting on this demo, that I actually caught the console here, and hopefully you will be able to see that all the information that we are getting out of those events. Let me see if the event's still on. Let's subscribe to the events again. Sorry about that. Subscribe to the Bing Map events. There you go. So the events are registered. And when I do a selection, you're clearly going to be able to see in what worksheet was the event, what cells were the ones that were selected, and so on and so forth. And if I insert a chart here, and I try and I switch from the table to the chart, for example, let me add one chart like this, you're going to see that now I select a chart, I'm going to get the event of what chart was selected, and so on, all the context, right? So this was a #1 request, and we were able to serve it. Are we doing on time here? Okay, so that's events. Let's go back to my workbook. I want to show you another demo. I want to update Excel right now, so let me go ahead and go install Script Lab. And I want to show you another demo about charts, the new investments we have done in charts. This is useful for solutions that are, you're doing business intelligence, you want to do charts of summarizing data and stuff. So let me go ahead and pull up the demo here. There you go. By the way, there's a bug. I need to do some pre-work here. Okay. Let's see what this demo it's all about. What I want to highlight in this demo is a lot of the chart APIs we're doing. So as you can see, well, let's add some sample data here. This is just data from a store. They have lemons, oranges, and stuff like that. And I have the sales data and other information associated with the sales. For example, the temperature of the date when the sale was done, and so on and so forth. So I can create a line chart, but that's nothing new. With 2 series of data sets. If you want, you can split them. So I will have lemons in one chart and oranges in one chart. But as you can see, let me zoom a little bit here. The data is not, the format is not in sync, right? So there are different units on both of them. So we added APIs to actually change that data. As you can see, when I click this button, you can have a fair comparison between lemons and oranges. I can also format the axis, something that cannot done before. I can add secondary axes if I need to, and I can format them, which is very powerful. And then I can add other types of charts. I can do formatting like this. I can also create scatter charts. Okay, so there are a bunch of new chart types, and you will see more in a few seconds. But then one of the things that developers in Excel also want to do is they want to print a copy of these reports. So they want to be able to create pages of documents in very specific formats. So in the API, we also added access to the page layout object. And the page layout object enables you to create margins and able to set up break pages and stuff like that. And in this case, you can also add headers and footers, and you can do everything that you can do on the page layout, you can do with the API. And the API, as you can see, it's just the only way to visualize what's going on here after I click is if I do the print preview, right? So the print preview, hold on a second. Yeah, I knew this was going to happen. Hold on. I really want to show you this demo because I have to disconnect my printer from campus because it was getting slow. But let me just relaunch this. Okay, Script Lab. Come on. I need to set up a print area before doing this. Okay, so let me add some sample data. Let me make sure that it's working, prepare report. And then I can go to print preview. For whatever reason, the demo gods are not helping me today, but it is working. So this is basically showing you a report that has many pages and headers, and you can do all those changes. Okay, so I want to show you some other demos in the iPad. So I'm going to go ahead and let me switch to this monitor here. Number 8. What I want to show you now is the new charts that are in beta today. But I want to show you them in an iPad. So I have this device here. I can actually run my add-in. And again, this is we did all these charts as a result of a request from the ideas team. And now you're going to be able to, again, add some sample data into the workbook. So you can see that I added some data here. And you can add now the new map charts. So as you can see here, there you go. There's the map. So this data has geographic information about the US. So it automatically identifies what geographic data you are using, and it adjust the chart as needed. If this was cities in the world, it will map to a world chart. And then once you have the chart there, you can add labels. You can split the data into different states with certain criteria. You can also add Whisker charts, if you want to do stocks charts and stuff like that. You can customize if you want. You can remove the X's and stuff. Another type of chart is the waterfall chart. You can see here, you can also have access to that. Sunburst charts. There you go. You can do a Pareto, so you can represent your 80-20s as well. You have tree maps. And you get the idea, so on and so forth. So if your solution is about charting, you definitely have a solution in our platform, and it will be awesome to see your solutions in our store. And finally, I want to give you a demo about shapes. How we're doing in time? We're doing perfect. So one of the big APIs that we are doing in the team today is that it's a Shapes API. And in case you don't know about it, in Excel, everything that floats in the workbook, it's considered, a shape. And that is true for this picture that I took recently on a trip to China, where all the Excel API team is located, and they did this amazing work. So we went to see the pandas there. So here's a picture of this is a shape. A text box is a shape. This triangle is a shape. All the lines are shapes. Even agaves are shapes. And you'll see, hey, wait, how do people use this, to create solutions? Well, they use it in many, many different ways. They use it, for example, to create reports like this. They are charts, and this is nothing but, just shapes and squares with numbers and different formats. They also do it to create dashboards like this one. You will see probably in the demo later today. This is a very awesome trick. This is just a shape that it's grouped. But if you remove the group and you go to the details here, you will see that the temperature is really a rectangle, and depending on the values, it's just a size increase and stuff like that. So that's done with shapes. You also do it for usability, so you can actually include like funnels like this close to your data, and then make the developer click on those shapes and do some action. And we could do any demo of that, but I was telling the team, hey, let's do something more fun. Let's try to see if we can do something really crazy here. And what I asked our team to do, I think this was a challenge that I wasn't sure if it was possible or not. But these guys, in fact, created a Tetris for Excel. And I want to show you really quickly the demo here. And again, this one is also going to be public, so that you can actually download it and see all the logic here. But basically, it's very simple. It's just a Tetris. But Tetris requires shapes to be created. So there you go. So if I click on play, I'm going to see a very beautiful picture of Mont Rainier. And there you go. There's a Tetris. And I can actually, move the shapes. Oh, hold on a second. I'm not able to move anything here. Let me try it in a different page. Play. There you go. So I can split. The only thing that is missing is the music, no? But I am able to hopefully create some, get some points here and so on and so forth. Well, it's fully functional. I think this guy needs to be taking the focus here in order to work properly. But anyways, the summary here is if you can create this type of solution, imagine what you can do with your business applications. And with that, I would like to, let me go back to the slides. Number 5. So this is really just a glimpse of what you can do with the new 1.8 APIs and the APIs in beta. And now we're going to see how you can actually combine both custom functions and add-ins to actually create really business solutions. And I will invite Daniel Filestra to the stage to show us his Solver add-in. Thank you very much.
I think that was really impressive what these guys have been doing. And we, as ISV developers, have been watching and starting to use this. And it makes a huge difference for us. So which machine is active on the slides? The slides right now.
The slides.
We got there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, machines plus the iPad here. Okay. All right. Good. So this is my one marketing slide. So Frontline Systems is a vendor of advanced analytics software that includes both predictive analytics, like data mining, machine learning, and that sort of thing, and prescriptive analytics, which we'll cover. We'll actually be showing the use of Monte Carlo simulation, risk analysis, and mathematical optimization. And the whole idea there is not merely to make predictions, but to actually make business decisions that have a payoff, that improve on what would be just the prediction. We have used Excel for many years. We were the ISVs who originally developed Solver that's in Microsoft Excel. It's been there for a long, long time. And what we have done, outside of the OEM context for companies like Microsoft and Oracle, is we have built a very rich set of capabilities, Excel-based, and using this cloud-based offering called Raison, that enables companies to solve pretty significant problems. Solver in Excel is kind of the baby version for us. In Analytics Solver, which is our big commercial product, which is sort of a $1,000 to $5,000 per user product, is something that you would use to solve like a optimization problem with 1 million decision variables, something like that. So we've been around for a long time, as you can tell, because we built Solver like more than 20 years ago. And so we've touched a lot of organizations. Most of these companies are large companies. And so we have faced these issues about that Juan and Kier were talking about installing these things and dealing with IT and dealing with security policies and so on in large companies. We also began, and I'm going to go to the next slide here, starting in 2013, so it's been almost 5 years, when the very first versions of the JavaScript APIs became available, we began using them. And we built what you could build at that stage. And so, for example, Solver, which is actually built into desktop Excel, is not actually built into Excel Online, but it still is available for free in Microsoft App Source. It's from us. And actually, that means that everybody who uses it is using our cloud servers, but that's pretty economical for us to do for everybody, as long as it runs on Azure. So that's Solver in the App Source. This is something called Risk Solver. It's a baby version of Monte Carlo simulation. And then this one, how many people ever use the analysis tool pack in desktop Excel? Yeah, some of you. So that's also not in Excel Online, but with this add-in, it is. So everything that's in Analysis Tool Pack is available in Excel Online. Now, our commercial product is a COM add-in, and like I said, it's sort of a $1,000 to $5,000 product that people work with, and this is sort of a little snapshot of the data mining and machine learning part, and this is the conventional optimization part. This is simulation and risk analysis. This is actually what we call stochastic and robust optimization. So this is a big piece of software. And here are some statistics on it. It's a couple million lines of code, mostly algorithmic code and then C# GUI code. There are 180 custom functions, and one of the things we have not been able to do until now, and like literally the reason I'm sort of here today as much as anything is because custom functions in JavaScript that work across devices and so on are something you can now build. Another big issue here is, when this thing runs as a conventional COM add, and it's about a 200 megabyte setup program that you have to run, and you have to have administrator privileges to install it and all that sort of thing. That all goes away with the JavaScript add-ins. I think Juan and Kier have been talking about this, but the only thing that shows up on a user's machine with one of these JavaScript add-ins is a little text file that's like 100 lines. It's called the manifest file. And there's no other footprint on the machine. And then the add-in is actually running in a sort of JavaScript sandbox. So from an IT perspective, from a company perspective, it's really a nice alternative. It's a much safer, some more secure alternative. So back to us, we have this very large piece of software with a lot of dependencies on COM and VSTO and so on. But customers want to move to Office 365. We actually have, as you saw earlier, there's more than 500,000 people who have downloaded or installed those free add-ins from the App Source. So how are we going to do this? Well, this is really where the interplay between what Juan and Kia were showing you and what we've been doing really comes to fore. So the computational part, the part that, part of the reason we were able to do this in this time frame is we have, in addition to having our Excel-based products and an SDK-based product, we have, over the last few years, we've developed this thing called Raison, which is essentially an analytics API. It's a REST API that can do optimization and simulation and data mining and so on. And by the way, you can use this in your own applications as well. There's even a free account here you go to raison.com, there's a front end for it. And then we've had a fair amount of experience with the free versions, and so we've been able to get to the point where we can kind of run these Azure servers and keep everybody, keep it responsive for all the users. And then these new JavaScript APIs have been crucial for us. So if you remember that chart that Juan was showing you about more and more APIs, well, we actually need like most of them, like all of them. Not every one, but a selection from every new release. So that's been kind of crucial for us to be able to use it. All right, so our goal now is to move this 2 million line product and with all these 180 custom functions and so on to make it work in Excel Online. So now I'm going to try to give you some demos of that. So sort of a word of warning, we absolutely are on the bleeding edge here. And there are things that have just begun to work. So let's see. We want to switch to 6, I think, right? So now we're on my machine. And we don't want NASA Earth. We don't want Bing right now. I want to bring you back to this because this is actually from Juan's workbook where he was doing the pivot table demo. So the raw data which he started, the source data for the pivot table, is actually passenger tickets. And there's a little indicator on each ticket whether the passenger showed up for the flight or not. So how many people actually flew into Orlando? And let's see a real show of hands. Yeah, okay. So there's a few people who either can't raise their hand or drove or something like that. Almost everybody flew. Did anybody miss their flight? Everybody was really, really good this time. And did anybody get bumped? This is going to be interesting. One person, okay. And we probably have about 100, I guess 100 people here. So that's about right. That suggests that these algorithms that we're talking about are working. So we're going to look at this from the airline's point of view now. So the pivot table, which was summarizing the individual passenger ticket data, right? It's just doing a sum, and it's summing up the no-shows. So each column in this pivot table is one flight that occurs over and over again, right? Every day that it flies, so we're showing day by day. And we have a certain number of no-shows on each day. So we're the airline, and we have this data. Now, what are we going to do about this? The problem for an airline is that what they sell is seats, right, on flights. And this seats are like perishable inventory, sort of like the apples that go bad in one day. The problem for an airline is as soon as a flight takes off, any empty seats are lost, for revenue. Just that's it. And then the further problem is even if the airline sells every seat to a passenger, people sort of expect if they miss their flight to not have to buy a new one and so on. So there's kind of an asymmetric bargain between you and the airline. They guarantee you a confirmed reservation, and you sort of are not really guaranteed to show up. And so actually, when the airlines consider overbooking, you could think of this as sort of adjusting that bargain to say, all right, we, the airline, are going to confirm you a seat with a high probability that you might be bumped. And that is, in fact, the reality. And you, on the other hand, are going to promise to show up with a pretty high probability. Okay, and so then the idea is, how do you actually implement that? Okay, so what we did here is we just picked this. We picked a flight, Seattle to Orlando, and copied the data out of the pivot table into this workbook over here. And in this workbook, I have this. So I'm on the tab of this analytics solver add-in. So this is a case where in JavaScript we're able to create a ribbon like this with a bunch of choices on it, and there are drop downs from these things and so on. There are dialogues that pop up. So the first thing I want to do is I want to analyze this historical data of the number of no-shows. And I could actually build a predictive model with the other tools that we have in the data mining portion of the product. But because we're going to move into Monte Carlo simulation here, I'm going to use a tool that we call distribution fitting. So I'm just saying Control-Shift down and picking the data which was in that column from the pivot table. And then I'm going to use a tool up here, and if all goes well, it's going to show up. And all this depends on the internet connection and everything else. You know, we've been practicing this demo for hours and hours, and the behavior very much depends on how good our internet connectivity. And in a place in a facility like this, it's really pretty iffy. Let's see. Well, I'm not getting anything right away. The whole page, yeah, because this machine has been asleep for a while. Okay, we're going to try to go to this. You know, we're on this tab. We've got this data selected. So let's try this one more time. Lo and behold, it comes up. So we'll fit to a continuous distribution in this case. And what it's going to do is look at different probability distributions, trying to fit them to this data, show us a rank list, evaluating them by these statistics, AIC and BIC. So now what's happening, that's sort of a JavaScript, you know, little dialogue that we're popping up, but then it's going to the Raison server in the backend. So it's going out over the web to run this, and hopefully it comes back reasonably quickly. And maybe it doesn't. All right, so I'm going to try something else here to see if this is live. Yes, okay. Try this one more time. It is kind of amazing how you do the same thing more than once, and on the third try it works. Okay, so what happened here is we took the data, sent it off to this backend analytics API server, and it fitted certain probability distributions to the data, and normal came out on top, but I don't actually want to use that because normal can go negative, and I could never have a negative number of no-shows. So I'm going to deliberately choose this Weibull distribution, and it's showing me what the shape of that distribution would be, and then these other tabs show me how well the data fits. So I can choose this distribution, and then over here, I've fitted the parameters, and in fact, if I close this, it'll ask me if I want to save this and put it somewhere. And we'll be creating a JavaScript add-in function as we do this. I think I'll just put this right now in like P1. So I actually put it on top of my data, but there's the function. Now we have to think a little bit, because all we've done is fit a distribution to the historical data. And now I can actually use this to simulate future flights. And what I simulate will reflect what historically happened. That's not actually what I want to do, though, because I want to change the policy. I want to change the number of tickets I sell, that is, how much I oversell the flight, right? So I don't actually want to use this just as it is. In fact, I'm going to wipe that out so it doesn't participate in the model anymore. What I've done right here, if you can see this, and unfortunately I can't expand that, but here's what I'm doing. I'm taking this Weibull distribution, which is, by the way, a classical distribution that's used to analyze failures, like component failures or machine failures. In this case, it's kind of analyzing the fact that you failed to show up for the flight. So what I'm doing is, the numbers that it fitted were about 2.99 something, you know, a lot of digits, and then the second parameter is 17.9 something more digits. I rounded them off because it won't matter that much. But then I am scaling those two parameters of the distribution by the number of tickets I sell divided by the number of seats on the flight. Okay, now why do I do that? Well, if you think about it, if you do change your policy and you oversell the flight by 10%, what do you think will happen to no-shows? I mean, they should go up, and they should go up proportionally, right? So that's why we do this. All right, so now, the rest of this model, it's a very simple Excel model. And part of the message here is that like data fitting or machine learning to historical data is not enough if you want to take prescriptive actions, if you want to do prescriptive analytics, where you are going to do something new that has not been done before. Your historical data and just prediction is not enough by itself. So we're going to simulate what we could do if we oversell the flight. Now at the moment, we're just, we have 300 seats and we're going to sell 300 tickets and that's it. No overselling. What we're going to do now is run a Monte Carlo simulation, which means that we're going to simulate this flight taking off 1,000 times. And each time we will randomly sample from the distribution, so we'll get some number of no-shows. Then we collect statistics and make charts and all that. So to do that, all we need, the model is pretty simple, and what the model calculates with little Excel formulas is like this, is that our net revenue after accounting for no-shows where we give money back, in effect, to the people who didn't show up, and overbooking compensation, if we do oversell the flight and we have to pay people that we bumped in some fashion, that's also taken into account with just a few formulas. Now, if all goes well, we'll just run this, again, going back to the back-end REST API server. And sure enough, it comes back for us. And this time it's showing us a distribution of the outcomes we could expect that we've simulated over 1,000 cases of this flight taking off. As you can see, our net revenue, its average is 58,400, but it can get as low as 56,000, maybe 500, and it can very occasionally touch 60. What would it mean if it hits 60,000? If you think about it, you probably couldn't see this because it's in the back of the screen now, but my ticket price is $200. I've got 300 seats. 60,000 is the best I can do. And now if you think for just a minute, you realize if you are the airline and you only sell 300 tickets, you can't win. I mean, like occasionally you'll fill your whole airplane, but most of the time there will be no shows and your revenue will be less than 60,000. In fact, it sort of always will be less. That's not so hot. Here's actually our sensitivity of revenue to the number of no-shows, which is a negative number, of course. And this also shows our revenue declining with the number of no-shows we get. So one thing we can do is just play what if, right? So let's sell 310 tickets. Those are the add-in functions updating for a moment there. Don't be too surprised if we see getting data and it stays there for a little bit. But I'll run the simulation again, and it comes back pretty fast. And notice that our mean revenue has gone up to 60,259. The whole distribution has shifted a little bit. And so that kind of looks pretty good. And so let's get aggressive. Let's sell 400 tickets. Maybe we'll have 100 no-shows. And is that a good idea is basically the question here. So it comes back again, and well, lo and behold, our revenue went down. 58,244 is the mean. And there is a little clue about what's happening. And one thing is that this is now shifted over to blue instead of red. But over here is really the information. We are overselling by so much that as we get more and more no-shows, our revenue goes up, but we never hit our overselling point. So we actually are worse off. Okay, so we've played around with that. Now what we'd really kind of like, though, is to, so a little bug probably in our software is this flashing bar over here. Please sort of bear with us on that. But we'd really like the software to find out the optimal number of tickets to sell that would best balance the effect of no-shows versus the cost of overbooking, right? Well, we have a model that already computes what happens over 1,000 trials. This cell down here is if you can see, it says psi.mean. It's returning into the spreadsheet the mean value of revenue over all those trials. And here we actually have our decision that we're making, the number of tickets to sell. So remember, we built Solver, so we should be able to do this. So I'm sitting on this cell, and I want to say that is the decision variable. I want the solver to figure out what that number should be. And then this cell down here is what I want as my objective, and I want to maximize it. And then there's one little thing I need to do, which is to tell it over here that I want to do simulation optimization. So what we're actually asking it to do is go off to the server, run an optimization where it's adjusting the number of tickets we sell. You know, try lots of different values for tickets to sell. Each time, run a simulation of 1,000 trials and compute the results and help us find the optimal result. And if all goes well, oh wait, that's not what I wanted or expected. I'm not sure it sees the optimization elements. Okay, we might be waiting for Excel Online to save. Try running it again. Okay, it actually has come back and told us that 323 tickets is the optimal number of tickets to sell. And for once, we have getting data in the cells, but hopefully this shows you what I wanted to show you. Okay, so I think that's it, and I think we want to switch off here to the other live demo. Thank you very much.
Can we move to the presentation? Is there a slide for the introduction slide? Okay. Hello, can you hear me? Hi everyone, I'm Matteo from HANA, a UK-based startup. So let me give you a little bit of background. HANA is an IoT company which aim to provide solutions, communication data across the globe for IoT companies. And we are here to present Simbisa and his add-in for Microsoft Excel. So let's start by saying I'm impersonating a supply chain manager from an SME. And I came to Microsoft Ignite, and I've discovered Simbisa. So I went off on the hana.com/Simbisa website, and I purchased a few of these with an investment of a few $100. And actually, if you go, they're really on sales, and you can actually use an Ignite 18 promo code to get a 10% discount on those boards. I got these devices, and now I'm going to show you what I did after. Well, the unboxing procedure was very simple, because I simply took the device, and I went on the portal. I registered myself on the HANA/Simbisa portal, and I linked these devices to my account. Then what I did is that I entered in the Excel, and I downloaded the Simbisa add-in, which appears now on the right corner. So when I open the Simbisa add-in, now I have visibility across all my devices. And they appear with a serial number and an alias, and I can actually customize the alias. So what happens next? Well, let's go and check what the Simbisa add-in offers. What we offer is that we developed a bunch of custom functions. And we're going to start by maybe querying from the physical device the actual battery level. So I'm going to get the battery, and I'm going to pass the serial number of the units. And if everything is okay, seems like it's not. Yeah, I'll close it and open it again. Okay. That's the beauty of live demos. Here we go back. Let me do that thing. And the serial number. Oh, here we go. So suddenly, a cell in Excel became actually a window to the real world. This is a live data feeding from a physical device within your Excel spreadsheet. It's quite powerful. But this is a static data. I just query what was the last battery available, the battery value available. To be sincere, I want to be able to constantly monitor. I want to be able to have a live stream of what is going on. And that's why we also developed a bunch of custom streaming functions. Those streaming functions, for example, to check what was the last time the device updated some data. And I'll do the same. I'll query the function and pass. So here we are. By the way, it is a GMT time, so there's some hours of delay between here and where the servers is hosted. So just to give you an appreciation, this is the number of currently available custom functions in the Excel Symbisa add-in. They range from environmental data, so temperature, humidity, pressure, live feeding from the device. Kinematic data, so we have something like the tilt detection. We can see the orientation of the device. We can see if the device dropped. And we also have some historical streaming functions that allow you to have actually multiple data set across the time. So the latest X number of payloads, if you want to see trends, if you want to see analyze trends and visualize those. So, okay, now I kind of have understood a little bit what these custom functions do. And yes, I can see I can feed live data inside an Excel spreadsheet. But let me take a step back and tell you about something. What HANA really wants to do with these products is to solve a problem. It's well-known circle of dependency problem. So every company outside there has three persons. A person with a problem, a person with the money, and the person that actually has the technical skills to solve the problem. And the person with the problem needs to convince the person with the money and the person with the technical skills to be able to provide a solution with the amount of money available. And let's be sincere, this always ends up being a very, very long process. And sometimes it actually doesn't let companies innovate and bring solutions to their business. When we think about Excel, we think about plus 1 billion installations. And let's face it, every single businessman outside knows how to make his way into a spreadsheet. And on the other side, you know we have a product there that is affordable, a product that is as simple as you can buy it, you actually get free credits inside the device, and the only payment that you have to incur is the single transaction of the single data transferred from the device into your Excel spreadsheet. So now we've seen a little bit where we are, and we're going to introduce what is the first, let's say, Symbisa dashboard, the IoT version of Excel. We can see there are a bunch of different columns ranging with different type of data, from temperature, humidity, location. But what's really interesting here is that thanks to Microsoft Office 365 Excel shapes, we were able to build custom shapes. Custom shapes that give a look and feel to this dashboard that looks like almost a web-based dashboard. But it's everything here in Excel. So now I'm going to take this device. It was under the light, so you could see that the light level expressed in lux was quite high, 300. And the orientation of the device was sitting flat. Now I'm holding it in my hand. We have to give it some little bit of time, unfortunately, with the 30,000 people in this building. GSM sometimes, well, take his time. And yeah, Now it's going to update again. It goes, now he updated the vertical one. Now it's going to, yeah, here we go. And the light came back to 45 lux. But when we think about this kind of solution, we also wonder, well, where are the workflows? How can I actually make the best usage of it? Well, when we say that this add-in connects Excel to the real world, we really mean it. In fact, what we can also do is that we can send a message from the cell in Excel down to the device, and it will appear on the screen. So now I'm going to try to fire the camera. Should be on 2. Is it correct? Oh, they move it on 1. There we go. And I'm going to send something like Excel rocks. It's taking some time. Here we go. Up. The camera is not updated. The device just updated here, but the camera is not showing the updates. If someone wants to walk here and see the device, I don't know why the camera looks like it's actually frozen. Which one? Okay. Okay. Well, I'll circulate the device around. You can actually see the message on the screen. So I think if we have the last couple of minutes to close this, we wanted to prove another solution, another sort of use case for this. So I come back to the fact that I was this supply chain manager, and I purchased a bunch of devices. So what I did is that I'm going to. You know which one is it? Number 6. Number 6. I purchased a bunch of devices, and I actually deployed them across the world. And should have opened both at the same time. This was not a wise idea. Here we are. Here we go. And now what I have is another kind of dashboard where, thanks to conditional formatting and the ability of adding a Bing map inside the dashboard itself, I can actually see and monitor my assets across the globe. I have one device sitting in London, one device sitting in Brazil, one in Phoenix, and one here in Orlando, the one on stage. And the power of this fusion between what Microsoft Office 365 offers with Excel and custom functions and streaming functions and the add-ins, combined with the solution that HANA wants to bring, is what the real innovation is. I hope you enjoyed the demo, and I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Please come and visit our website, www.hana.com. You can also go on /Symbisa if you want to have more information about this product. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Matteo. It was great. Great demos, guys. Number 5. Sorry, I think we are kind of at the end of the presentation. I want to thank you very much, Daniel and Hanga, for the demos. It was awesome. Last message for all of you guys, please connect with us. Your opinion and your feedback absolutely matters on the team. If you have any questions, you have any problems with the API, feel free to go to Stack Overflow. We have an Office.js tag there, and the team is extremely serious about responding there in less than 24 hours. We also have a GitHub repository where you can actually go and raise issues. This is not for specific questions, but issues you find with the APIs and with custom functions. And in user voice, if you feel that there is a feature that is missing, or if something that we should do better, or any recommendations you have, you can actually upvote requests or create new ones. Also, here are some useful resources. If you want to know more about custom functions, just go to this website, AKMS Custom Functions. There's also an open spec. So we are one of the few teams at Microsoft that actually has the specs online. So you can actually go ahead to this website and actually see the APIs that are coming, the APIs that are on preview, the ones that you can actually try using our beta endpoints. And of course, please try the platform, and happy coding, guys. Thank you very much for your presence here, and we're going to be here around for questions if you want to ask them. Thank you very much.